So when I'm not at home and I'm not making these YouTube videos, I have a normal day job as well. And that job is working for Audi. Audi, not Aldi. Everyone seems to think I say Aldi when I say Audi, but I mean Audi. I work at one of the local Audi dealerships near where I live and I make videos for them. So this week I made this video about the Audi RS6 and I thought it would be a good idea to take you through on my YouTube channel how I shot and edited this video. So hopefully if you are getting into videography or you're just interested in videography and how videos are put together, this will give you a little bit of an idea. Let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the screen on my MacBook and we're going to show you the Final Cut Pro project where I edited all the footage and show you what goes into turning some footage into a little commercial or advert, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to record my screen and now you can see here the Final Cut Pro project. So you can see here we have our main video clips. We have on top in the purple our basic color corrections, and on top we have our look grade. We also have a few little extra bits on here on the top which we will very briefly talk about, and underneath you can see all of our sound effects and music. With this video I wanted to do something slightly different because an Audi RS6 is a very sporty, aggressive vehicle, very expensive vehicle. There's not very many adverts that show the kind of sophisticated and elegant side of it, and that's what I wanted to try and get across in this video because it is an incredible looking car and I'm not particularly into cars. So to start the video off I just wanted to set the scene for the video and show the environment around where this vehicle is, and to do that I just got a shot of some trees and of a couple of flowers. So I literally just pointed the camera around to find some different shots of the environment around you, and underneath I have the sounds of bird noises. Sound when you are making videos is incredibly important and is often quite underused. So whenever you are making videos, always think about the sounds you need, and if you need to, go and download extra sounds to be able to put into your videos to create the feel of the video that you want. Now all of these sounds that I used in this video are from Epidemic sounds. There is a link in the description for a 30-day free trial if you are interested, but Epidemic sounds is a place where you can go and download royalty-free music and sound effects for all of your videos. So none of the sounds I used in this video are from the actual recordings of the microphone on the camera that I was using. They are all from Epidemic sounds and added afterwards. We've got the sounds of the birds tweeting and the shots of the environment around you, and then underneath you can slowly start to hear the rumble of a car building up and getting closer, and this is where the intrigue starts to drag you into the video even more. And then as you hear that you start to see a car driving slowly towards you. Now you don't know yet what that car is because it's so far away and you can't see it, but you don't need to know what it is because that intrigue is drawing you into the video. And then we have 3 or 4 fairly quick sharp shots. 1, 2, 3, 4 quick shots of the car driving past. Now someone who knows about cars will probably instantly recognize that as an Audi RS6, but again you don't really need to know what it is, you're just seeing the car driving past, which as it's a car commercial, fairly important to see a car driving, but again it's not the main reason behind this video, so it kind of just fills the gap and draws you in even more. Now these shots, apart from one of them, were all filmed on a tripod. Now even though it's a static shot of the car driving past, I've added in extra movement inside Final Cut, so you can see it slowly zooming in and following the car, and it just helps make that shot look a little bit more interesting. Now this is where it gets a little bit different because as I mentioned, I didn't want to show the sporty, aggressive and noisy side of the Audi RS6 because that is what all the other Audi RS6 adverts do. I wanted to show the elegant, sophisticated, classy side of the vehicle because it is an incredible looking car. I chose the location of Crewe Hall because as you can see it's an incredible looking building. It's very posh. So the car slowly pulls up outside of Crewe Hall, and underneath we have more sound effects of the tyre on tarmac, for example. And there, as the car pulls up, we start to hear a little bit of classical piano music, and we have the two black bars that slowly come in at the top and the bottom, and it just helps it feel a little bit more cinematic for the next part that is coming up. Now, all of these clips at the start of the video are all filmed in 25 frames a second. Now, that is what is normal for motion blur. For example, you can see my hand moving, you get the little bit of motion. If you want to film something that looks natural to the eye, always film in 25 frames a second. This next part is all filmed in 100 frames a second. Now, what this means is that I could then go and slow it down into 25%, and then it looks slow motion. So now we've got the black bars that have come in at the top and the bottom, we've got the piano music underneath, and we've got what is now in 100 frames a second to show in slow motion. We go from nice movement of the car into slow motion, sophisticated, elegant side of the car, showing off what an incredible looking vehicle it is. And what happens now we've got music in the video as well is we make each individual cut into the next clip on a beat of the music. And that just helps the video flow a little bit more and feel a little bit more natural. We're showing off different angles, so here you can see the brakes that are painted in bright red. You can then start to see that it is a more sporty vehicle. And then we move inside of the car. And as the beat of the music slowly started to speed up, I followed that with the clips. So there's a couple of shorter, sharper clips here to follow the music. And what that does is it just helps keep the viewer's attention, because if all your clips are the same length, then it just gets a little bit boring. So by alternating the length of the clips that you are showing, even though it's not by much, just by following the beats of the music, you can start to make it a little bit more interesting to the viewer to keep their attention for that little bit longer. So here, for example, as we move inside the car, we show off the steering wheel, we show off the touchscreen display, we show the driver's dashboard, and those two clips there of the steering wheel and the touchscreen display are all half the speed of the other clips, and that is what I mean by just trying to speed it up and alter the length of your clips a little bit. And then my favorite bit of the video is this whip transition. Now, to do this, I shot both the clips in 100 frames a second so I could slow them down to 25% like I mentioned before, and I slowly moved the camera inside the car towards the seat until the lens was touching the seat, so it went into darkness. And then with the next clip, as you can see here, it starts in darkness, moving away from the passenger seat in the back, pointing into the front. Now, what you can then do is put those two clips together, put a speed ramp between the two. It looks like you're moving from one to another with a nice smooth transition. Now then you add in the sound effect of the whoosh. Just makes it flow nice and smoothly. Instead of a nice sharp cut, you get a nice flowing smooth cut that nicely speeds up and slows back down. I think they look incredible. I love whip transitions. Now, if you would like a video describing whip transitions in more detail and how you can shoot and edit them, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to make a video all about that. Now, as we get to the end of the video, you start to hear the car again before you see it. So this just helps mask that transition a little bit more. It's called a J-cut, as the sound starts before the video clip. And that just helps flow a little bit more. So that is it for the video clips. Underneath here we have, as I mentioned, all of our sound effects, and these are lined up with each individual video clip. So sound design takes a long time, but it's so worth it if you want to keep the attention of the viewers for as long as possible. Now, the last little part of this video I did was the color grading, and that is all of these purple boxes that sit on top of the clip. So you can see the base corrections I've done for every single little clip, and then we have one look grade that sits on top and makes it all match together very nicely. If I turn all of these off, for example, I filmed this in S-Log2. Now S-Log2 is a picture profile which helps you keep more dynamic range. You can see it just looks very grey and washed out. There's not much contrast to it, but then if you add in all of these base corrections, you can see there's a lot more contrast, a lot more saturation. When you've got your color corrections right, what you can then do is add in a look grade. So for this I chose one of Peter McKinnon's LUTs, and it's just a nice little faded look. So again, it's making it look a little bit faded out and a little bit more cinematic. Now you are losing a little bit of that contrast, but I quite liked that for this video. I thought it gave it the feel that I wanted. So that is off, that is on. It just makes it feel a little bit more cinematic in my opinion. That is it. If you like what you see on this channel, consider clicking that little subscribe button just down below there and coming and be a part of this community. And I shall see you all very soon in the next video.